For the past couple of weeks, I've been bringing all my equipment with me wherever I go in the event that Nintendo just springs an announcement for a new version of the Nintendo Switch. Because nobody knew what was going to happen. We didn't know exactly when it was going to happen, but we all knew any minute now something was going to happen. Last night I was up until 6 or 7 in the morning working on a video. I don't want to talk about it, but then at 9 in the morning, Nintendo drops this. And what? No one's going to wake me up? I mean, I appreciate all of the Twitter messages and stuff, and that's all great. But like a phone call would have been nice. Everybody who knows me knows that I hate phone calls, but I think that this was worth risking me hating you for that phone call. These are fake. Anyway, I'm trying to make a quick video here about the news that's happening around this brand new Nintendo Switch model. Obviously, the biggest glaring new detail is that it's a brand new big OLED screen. It's going to be 7 inches, and they basically removed the bezel of the current Nintendo Switch, which was pretty predictable. Every time Nintendo releases an iteration of a handheld console, they just make it prettier, and usually the second version is the prettiest looking one. The current Nintendo Switch, no matter which version you get, has this big, ugly black bezel around it, like it's an old iPad or something. Like this is like late 2000s. So this was a pretty obvious choice. It's also notable that the Joy-Cons are the exact same, which was also kind of predictable because I don't think there's anything really wrong with the Joy-Cons except for the drift. That would be something that they should probably work on fixing. But there's really no reason to make the device any thinner, and that would make it so the Joy-Cons don't work. Really, the only thing that needed a redesign was the screen itself. And the kickstand. The old kickstand was made to pop off really easily so that it doesn't just break. But that made it get loose and crappy over time. My original Nintendo Switch, the kickstand sucked on it. I couldn't even hold it straight up anymore. The kickstand just didn't work. It would just pop out every time because it was so loose. They seem to have fixed that in later iterations. My Animal Crossing Switch had a much stiffer kickstand. That thing didn't seem like it was going anywhere. And this one too, this one's really in there. I'm like kind of afraid to pop it out. It's meant to be popped out, but it feels like it's in there and it might break if I do that. So a redesign of the kickstand was necessary. Also, another flaw with the kickstand, if you push it on one corner, it will fall off. And this one looks like it's the entire back, so it's going to be a lot more stable. This is a better idea. The dock also desperately needed a redesign. I don't think the current dock looks that great. I mean, I like my red one that I have now. I think the smaller logo is great. I think the slightly more rounded corners are great. I'm really happy that they're starting to color the docks, although this one's just white. It would have been nice if the dock was smaller, or at least a way to take the guts out to make it more portable, because the brain of the whole operation is right here. It's that small. So it would have been cool if we were able to at least take that out. There's no reason for all of this plastic, but I mean, it's a nicer looking dock. All of the ports seem to be the same. They don't tell us if these are 2.0 or 3.0, but the inside USB 3.0 port has been replaced with a LAN adapter, which is awesome. The inside port on mine currently has a LAN adapter plugged in, so this just cuts the middleman out. But also, we don't know what type of HDMI this is and how fast that LAN adapter is. I'm assuming it's going to be plenty fast. It would be nice if this dock redesign addressed some of the power delivery issues that the current dock has, but I wouldn't get my hopes up for something like that. You know, I was just wondering what this little hump was on the dock, but it looks like it might be a cutout for cables. Like, I know this is a cutout for cables on the left side, but yeah, the current Switch dock has a little cutout for cables there too, but this one looks like you've got more range for cables. That's probably a better idea. Also, I'm on the Japanese site. The Japanese site for this new Nintendo Switch version is much cooler. It's got all these like crazy animations and stuff. They make a much bigger deal about things like the kickstand. It's way cooler than what we got. But there isn't any new information on the Japanese site. It's pretty much all the same. I went over the whole thing with my Japanese teacher. Shout out to Wulff-san. 64 gigabytes of internal storage is now double what we currently have. 32 gigabytes is way too small. So 64 gigabytes, it's still not a lot, but it's enough for a lot of first-party Nintendo games. Nintendo's really good at keeping their file sizes very small. Activision could learn a thing or two about that. And there's improved speakers. Thanks to onboard speakers with enhanced audio, enjoy your favorite Nintendo Switch games with clear sound when playing in handheld or tabletop mode. I'll be honest, I thought the speakers were great in the original Switch version. So it looks like the hole cutouts for the speakers are just bigger. This is probably something I'm not going to notice too much about. Nintendo also straight up confirms that the Joy-Cons are the same and they're compatible with all Switch versions. The only other thing that I noticed that's different is at the top, that's where the light sensor is for adjusting the screen brightness if you're outside or if you're in a dark room. They had to move that because it was probably in the bezel and now there's no bezel. The Joy-Con grip is identical. They didn't change that at all. Basically everything else is exactly the same, except for the price. That would be $350. They upped it by $50. I honestly didn't think they would do that. I just thought they would get rid of the current Switch model or maybe sell that one for cheaper and make this new one $300 because I mean, it's not that much different. If this was a Switch Pro that was rumored, maybe that would warrant that extra $50. Also, it comes in white with white Joy-Cons or black with the regular old neon Joy-Cons. I would have liked to have seen more colors. The neon Joy-Cons are old and done with. Give us something different. White is great. That's fine. Why not make the rest of the Switch white though? I don't like how it's all black. My favorite thing about this Mario edition is that it's all red. It's the only one that's colored. I also want to talk about, like, this seemed like an obvious prediction to me, but we nailed it, dude. Bloomberg was reporting that there would be a Switch Pro, and they kept driving that Pro name home, and I knew that was going to disappoint everybody. They were talking about how it's going to be 4K or upscaled to 4K and all this other junk. People are going to be disappointed if you keep saying it's a 4K output device. People are going to be a little disappointed when they get this thing. You know, I'm just getting sick of Bloomberg. Getting sick of it. But no, Nintendo purposely underpowers all of their stuff. Okay, the OLED remains locked at a 720p resolution. So they didn't even upgrade the resolution of the screen, which is a little disappointing. I mean, in portable mode, the screen's so small, 720p, you don't really notice. But I mean, you might on a slightly bigger one. Oh, here we go. Game Rant says, considering all the rumors of the Switch Pro features missing from this latest model, some have begun to wonder if a true technologically advanced Pro model is still coming next year. No! This is the one! This is the one that you're getting. They're charging more money for this one. They're not going to make another one and charge even more money. That's ridiculous. I think Bloomberg went a little overboard in their reporting and got everybody's hopes up and added their own little spin on what they thought might be happening. And listen, I don't want to toot my own horn here, but people were talking about how I predicted the original Switch. And there's a little graphic I made in September of last year of what I thought a new Switch would look like. Yo, dude, but again, this is an obvious choice. It's just getting rid of the bezel. But I said it would be 1080. Okay, ignore that part. I also thought they would want to make the dock smaller because that just made sense. But I mean, come on, guys. As for that price point, I gotta say I am a little disappointed. I don't think this is worth the upgrade for anybody who already has a Switch. It's cool that it's got the LAN adapter built into the dock. That's worth, what, $20? $30, damn. And Nintendo's currently actively trying to fix their online infrastructure. They know that their multiplayer games are very bad. Nintendo's own first-party games have terrible netcode. And I'm pretty sure even in their own Smash Brothers tournaments, they require every player to use one of their LAN adapters. So this is a way for people to have a better online experience if they're able to be wired without having to buy a third-party accessory. If you don't currently own a Nintendo Switch, I think this is a good version to get. I don't think this is competing with PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X at all, and I don't think Nintendo ever intended to do so. They know where they are in the market. They know that they're for families and kids and whatnot. They know nobody's buying this thing to get the latest graphics and play the most technologically advanced games. People are buying this thing because the games on it are good and it's really convenient. That's it. Is this me? Did I just get called out? I don't know. I think I can cut it under 10 minutes. I don't have an ad in this one. Oh, here we go. Nintendo confirmed to The Verge that the new OLED Switch does not have a new CPU or more RAM from previous Nintendo Switch models. So it is literally the exact same thing. It's literally a iteration on the current Switch. It's almost like we've been talking about this whole time. The only thing that, again, doesn't make any sense is that $50 price point. They should have just gotten rid of the current Switch. You know what it is? They are already selling a butt ton of Nintendo Switches, and they could barely keep up with demand. So they're probably thinking they could have sold the current Switch for more money. So instead of having this replace the current Switch, they're just going to squeeze out a couple more bucks from us. And I'm going to buy it because I have to for this channel. Would I have bought it if I didn't have this channel? I don't think so. I don't think it's worth it. I play mostly docked anyway. And looking on Reddit, it looks like a lot of people play it mostly docked, and this isn't going to be much of a difference to them. And I shouldn't have to say this, but it plays the same games. All of the same accessories are going to work. I don't think there's an accessory that wouldn't work. So if you're worried about upgrading or skeptical about upgrading, just don't. You don't need to. Anyway, I'm trying to keep this really short. I hate not scripting my videos because I always forget something and then I get mad. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about what's the official name? Nintendo Switch, parentheses, OLED model. What do you guys think about the Nintendo Switch, parentheses, OLED model, arriving October 8th? That's actually a little ways away. I honestly was expecting an announcement closer to August. The Switch Lite was announced on July 10th, 2019, and released on September 20th. That's interesting. Anyway, leave it in the comments below. Add me on Twitter. And all this other social media garbage. I'm going to stop talking now so that one guy on Reddit doesn't get mad that my video is 10 minutes and 23 seconds. Thank you for being... Oh, and we're going to be on Twitch tonight doing a podcast. It's probably going to be mostly about this stupid thing. And if you can't make it to that, we will be on youtube.com/WolfDen podcast. That's where you can listen to the podcast afterwards. And on all podcast services, it'll be up tomorrow. Thank you very much. You have yourself a very good week. I'm going to sleep.